That's what I thought. All right. I'm turning off my OBS. Okay. Man, dude, good. Hello. We're using the webcam. We haven't seen the webcam in a very long time. Don't worry, the fancy cam is working, but it's just this software that we are not. It's not software. It's like a browser software. I don't know what you call that. That I'm using. That you, if you're watching, will be able to, if you feel like it. You know, if you would like to, can potentially hop on for like a moment today. I am using Restream to, that's what I've been trying out the past month. Thank you patrons for letting me try this out. And it's like a browser software that you could live stream from that I can pull, you know, just guests in or viewers and whatnot, but I'm just having some technical problems with it. So I think next month I'm going to try StreamYard instead and see which one I like better. But man, this is not a Codename Good Game episode. This is a community just live, where literally the title is straightforward, where it's just, I just want to interact with you, get to hear your takes on some things, bring up some potential topics that you would love to share your opinions on or hear mine, or potentially a poll idea, and just give you an opportunity to share your voice and or lend your ears, however you feel like it, because that's what this community is. That's kind of my backbone for 2025. I want to create a space that passionate gamers can listen to fellow passionate gamers or share their own voice. So that's what I'm doing today. And if you're wondering how you could become part of the stream, then it's in the description. There's a link there. You don't feel free to just hang out, spectate, do whatever you want. But just like, if you just want to lurk. If you want to step up and actually listen, then listen. If you want to step up and just kind of drop some chat messages like Stephy, Fina, and Silver are, you can. If you want to actively engage and speculate and drop questions and respond to things, you can. And then if you want to go even above that and actually be a part for 5 minutes or whatever, you can do that by going in the description. You'll see a link there that says it's link dot something, and it'll take you to Restream, where you don't have to be on camera. You could just vocal, I believe, should work. But yeah, I just wanted to try this out and take a little break from Codename Good Game. Maybe even play a little game with you. That would be fun, actually, if somebody joins and they want to challenge me to guess a game from them. That would be fascinating. So, but yeah, there's this is a news. There's gaming news, things to potentially react to, topics to bring up. But there's gaming news just freaking the conversation around Xbox's exclusivity just won't shut up. It is just one of those topics that will just never stop. How do we make it stop? How do we do it? Then there's also PlayStation. They have a new overall CEO. They tried to have two CEOs, and maybe it wasn't working for them, so now they just have a CEO. How will that go? And what was the other stuff? Oh, yeah. Our most anticipated game of 2025. We ran a poll tournament for 3 weeks, and we have the results, which you probably already seen, but I just thought it'd be interesting to bring up, how that went. And finally, Moon Studios is apparently open to making Ori 3 or a Banjo-Kazooie game for Xbox. Did you not know that? Apparently that's a thing. So those are some things that potentially could be talked about. But first, CNT Connoisseur. Wait, I can do this too, right? Yes, I can do this too. This is another way I can make you part of the stream when I use stuff like this. I just bought Silent Hill 4 and Dino Crisis 2 on GOG. What is GOG? Is that like Rogue Ally or something? Buying old physical copies of that doesn't support the game. Digital over physical. You know what's nuts is that that's kind of true, right? Is that wrong? Because, like, you basically support a game when you buy it for the first time. When you buy it for the first time, that is when you support it. And when you buy a game physically, that just, that goes to the publisher and the developer. But after that, if you buy used games, that goes to whoever's selling the game. That's a good point. I mean, however people prefer it. I still love to have a game library. Okay, I'm not using the fancy cam today if you're just joining. I was having like technical problems with that and this browser source. It would have no problems when I use OBS, but this browser thing. But I have a little, now that I'm not using the fancy cam, you can see it's like in focus in my Dragon Ball Z collection there. I have a little bit of a game shelf there, and I have more in my living room, but it's like, it's nice. It's nice when you have a game shelf of sorts. Also, I'm probably really quiet today. I'm going to turn me up a bit because I'm not using my usual setup. Because, again, for some reason, Restream's going nutsy. But hello. GOG is like Steam, but no DRM. Is that G? No, I don't know what that is. Just getting over it. So you're telling me you'd rather choose a console that only has Xbox games rather than a console that has Xbox games, PlayStation games, and money-hatted games. What? So you're telling me you'd rather choose a console that has Xbox games rather than Xbox games? Oh, I get what you're trying to do. Okay. I mean, we could talk about it. I'm happy to talk about it. No, that's a good point. If somebody... So I'm assuming this is talking about like, Just Get Over It is talking, what a name. He's probably talking about this poll that I have currently in the chat, which is, which matters more to you on your preferred platform? Exclusive, like you can only play that here. Accessible, like there's less barriers to play games. Or hardware, like the box that you can play it in the most best way. And so far, 77% are saying accessible. And I think that's what this comment's addressing. It's like, you guys are telling me you would rather play games on the thing that things are less or are much more accessible than play it on a system that could have a lot more variety of games. That is a very good point. That's absolutely a good point. That is like the whole reason freaking everybody put in the Joker gif. Everyone loses their minds with this whole freaking Xbox exclusivity thing. And it's just, sure, like that makes sense. If one wants to experience everything that PlayStation has or everything that Nintendo has, or everything that I think there's plenty of games that are only exclusive to Steam, then you go to those platforms to do that. But, big but, if you do, then you will have to spend a lot more money. And I'm not saying that's gonna win any console wars, because the console wars are over. Like PlayStation 1, Nintendo 1, however you want to phrase it. We're transitioning to this content war. And the situation is, if I just speak for myself, I can't speak for other people. If I answered this poll, which I can't, I would vote accessible. Because I am looking way more forward. Like, hypothetically, if they announced a new God of War this year, Intergalactic was coming out, and a new Ratchet & Clank was coming to PlayStation, I would still be way more excited for Xbox's games, even though they're not all exclusive, because I don't have to pay as much to play them. If I just get a year of Game Pass, then I can play all of them. But why wouldn't you just do it on PlayStation? Because then I'll have to buy all of them. And I'll have to buy the additional 3 PlayStation games as well, which will be another $180. That's where that whole thing comes in. I'm happy to talk about that more, but it's like, that's just kind of, and that's a big conversation. At some point I want to bring in like multiple content creators, or maybe even you, the viewer. Like I want to have a really healthy conversation about that, because I'm not saying that's, the right way to play. I'm not saying I'm correct. I'm just saying that's how I work. I'm a frugal person. I live a very modest life. And I love to get to play. Like, I just played Death's Door. That justified my January Game Pass subscription. Next month, Avowed is going to justify my Game Pass subscription. The month after that, Atomfall is going to justify it. The month after that, Expedition 33 and South of Midnight are going to justify it. And it's like, that just makes me much more excited, even if those games are on PlayStation, where I could play a hypothetical God of War, Ratchet and Clank, and whatnot. I have to buy them. So if somebody has all the money in the world, play them on PlayStation. I will actually advocate for you to do that, because then you could play everything there. Play them on PlayStation, play them on Steam. If you have all the money in the world, do that. That's actually the smart decision. Get a PS5 Pro, spend more money on that. But if you don't, and if you're down to try things and you want to save money, then you just play it through Game Pass on Xbox. That's my take on that. Very condensed. I could go on and on about that, but big key. Yes, the Kingdom Hearts key. The Kingdom Hearts. When are we getting Kingdom Hearts 4? When is that happening? And yes, Rocket, that is correct. Death's Door is about to leave Game Pass. That's why I played it. Like, I didn't know. I'm like, what do I? Because that's what I personally like about Game Pass. That is, it kind of, as long as I stay subscribed to it, it kind of forces me to try things that I wouldn't have. Instead of just, oh, I've always wanted to play that, but just haven't gotten around to it. It's like, it kind of forces me to. And when I saw Death's Door was leaving, I'm like, frick, I've been meaning to do that. That's the perfect. I don't know what to play this month. I'm going to do that. And that's what I did. And I'm so glad, because that game was freaking awesome. That game was freaking awesome. Hello, Supertone. Can I add a little bit of music? Is that a thing with StreamYard? So a reminder, what we're doing today is, instead of coding good game, we're hanging out. I'm talking with you about whatever the heck you want. In fact, I did see somebody left a comment before the stream that was a question that I would love to go over. That I'm gonna plug it in a moment. It's a really fun question that we don't have to talk about gaming news. We could talk about anything, but there is some interesting gaming news this week that, like, if we don't have anything to talk about, we could bring up. That's one thing about news that's kind of nice, is that there's just always something to talk about. But Devin May, I think there's a rumor that there's a Nintendo Direct that will air February 4th or 5th. What do you think they'll show, since there'll be a dedicated Direct for Switch 2 in April? This is a really good question, Devin. Thank you very much for submitting that. Thank you all for lending your ears by being at the stream, or lending your voice like Devin here. This is a great question. I'd love to see everybody answer. Sure, your voice don't matter. I've heard of this. I've heard this rumor. I mean, I haven't seen anything about February 4th or 5th. I've just heard that they still intend a February one. But that's going to be a weird... I hope they do, because I think it's weird that they would literally just go since September without a Direct of any kind. Right? So I really hope that there is something in February, but a general Direct, I don't know about that. I feel like a mini Direct, which is a thing, or a partner one, or an indie world, something like that. Maybe a mini Direct. I feel like the minimum they should do that, because then it's like, okay, here's another remaster. Here's maybe something about Metroid Prime 5, maybe something about Pokemon. But Pokemon, they typically have their own presentation in February, usually, right? Am I wrong about that? Can you clarify that if you're watching? Anybody here? So I don't know. I hope they do. But if they did, and if it was a general Direct, I would certainly hope that general Direct's goal is to let Switch users know, the 150 million out there, know that, hey, we still have games coming to you. Here's some stuff from our partners. Here's like one or two first-party things. Here's maybe a remaster or two. You know, just let Switch owners know that they have not been abandoned, and they will not be abandoned in April when they talk about the Switch 2, which will probably have cross-gen games. But if they announce anything, and if they do a general one in February, I think they would just focus, like they would have like a Metroid Prime 4 presentation. Cross my fingers, Pikmin 4 DLC, not gonna happen, but cross my fingers. Not gonna happen. And perhaps, I don't know, you never know with Nintendo. You never know. So I have no idea. I'll just cross my fingers and say, I hope that it's Pikmin 4 DLC. Folks, if you're just joining, we're having a general hangout stream. So if you have any topics to drop or any questions to add or any comments to add to anything, lend your ears and your voice, because that's what this is for. I want to take a break from coding a good game to make sure I am, engaging with you. And if you would like to if you would like to be a part of the stream directly, then feel free to drop chats and everything, or super chat to support Patreon. That's great. Which, by the way, shout out to patrons. I love you guys, especially basically sponsors Steffi and Capone. Really appreciate you both. But for letting me do things this month, like make new emotes for Twitch, which I should bring here and make freaking memberships, and trying out Restream here, which is the final level. If you would like to be a part of this stream, then feel free to go to the description. There's a link down there that'll take you to Restream, where hopefully it's easy. You just click on it, make a name, and you don't have to be on webcam if you don't want to. But that's not, I'm not pressuring anybody. It's just, if that excites you, like there's some people out there that's like, I could be a part of it. Yeah. So feel free. But, Silver said that. I saw that too, dude. It's due to the thing that Nintendo talked about data transfer for Switch 1 and 2. Yeah, there has to be a data transfer thing. CNT, if every console had every game, people would have to buy the best machine. And that's what Xbox is hoping to eventually go to, I would say. Like that's why Phil said, like, if people pick our hardware, I want them to pick our hardware based off of the hardware. I mean, we could open that bag of worms, man. Like, but that's a big one. Nature Power, exactly. And with Game Pass, we got the game at discount. That's true. That's true. I've done that before. I've bought games on a discount because I was a Game Pass member, and because it's like almost like Game Pass let me try the game out without limits. But then when it's leaving, then I'm like, I want to keep this game. I did that for Spider-Heck. I did that for Party Animals. I wanted to keep those games. And I wanted to use that Game Pass discount to play them, so. He returns. Just get over it. I'm looking forward to Xbox games this year more than PlayStation games. Just feel like us Xbox players are being treated like second-class citizens. Well, and that's absolutely for anybody to feel. Like, I feel I'm a very different person in the Halo community. Like, I just let the patrons know we have like our own Discord, and we have like this Halo channel, and I just let them know straight up earlier, hey, I straight up, like, I hesitate to share positive feelings here because I don't want to just get buzzkilled and go, they just added that? That should have been there 2 years ago. And it's like, that just makes me feel bad, But like, I'm not saying they do it all the time, but it happens. And that's how, like, in this case, I don't want to dismiss this because it absolutely makes sense. I don't think anybody should trash talk you for feeling this way. That's how plenty of people will feel. But for me, again, it's just kind of a debate. Like, if exclusivity is how you feel like a first-class citizen, more than games getting handed to you on a silver platter that are multi-platform, that's the debate. Like, is exclusivity more valuable to you, or is day one just play it more valuable to you? I'm not saying one is better than the other. Like, I prefer the day one thing, but that's not the correct answer. And it's not going to sell their console. I'll promise you that. Games sell the console, but at some point, if Xbox has a machine, if their next gen is a machine that can run Steam, there's no going back. There's no going back. All right. Yeah. C2, in my opinion, this poll would be very different if it was January last year. Yeah. Yeah, it's just a conversation that I'm personally over it, man. I'm really over it. It's a conversation, sadly, that will never end until Phil Spencer just rips, not the Band-Aid, rips the freaking staples off. It's going to be a wound, but it's not going to end until you hear it from like the top of the top, either Phil Spencer or Satya, and they have to just straight up say, hey, our brand new, and I personally feel this is the case, our brand new IP or IP that originated on Xbox will always launch exclusive to Xbox first. But 6 to 12 months after release, they may come to other systems. I feel like you should say will, but so you'll play those Xbox original games first on Xbox. As well, if you are a Game Pass member, just get them included in your membership. But the IP that did not originate on Xbox, Minecraft, Doom, Elder Scrolls, they will be launching multi-plat. And your advantage of playing on Xbox is with Game Pass, as well as the new Xbox Developer Direct Showcase. If you buy them on Xbox, this is another key point, all of our first-party titles are Xbox Play Anywhere. So if you buy it on an Xbox, then you will be able to play that game through the Microsoft Store and just cross-save your games. That is another thing that they're hoping for. And until they lay that out as direct as possible, this conversation will never stop. And it's gonna kill me. All right. For that Nintendo Direct question earlier, Creature said in the Stars 2 trailer would be hype. C2 said for the direct question, I just don't believe there will be one before the big one. Devin May, yes, Pokemon is probably in February, and they usually have their Pokemon Presents in that time. Yeah. Steffi, if they do direct, maybe they'll do it. Maybe they'll bring up the new Mario Kart game in more detail. I'm really curious if the Switch 2 is going to have exclusive games. I'm really curious if the Switch 2 is going to have exclusive games, man. Silver Zonix, you streaming this? Speaking of exclusive, you know, like that's a way that the Switch 2 would sell. But if they're cross-generational, then people will probably be like, I'll just keep my Switch. But Silva, you streaming the Pokemon Day Presents next month, Keebs? I don't usually, like, I like to stream the presentations that, like, I feel like I'll have a really, like, I'm going to have a reaction to. But whenever I watch the Pokemon presentations, I'm just like, okay. But I am very curious to see Pokemon Legends. I am very curious to see that. Wait, is Death's Door on the Netflix subscription, Rocket? That's all. That's cool. Silver, so Halo and Gears coming to Switch 2 in the future? Question mark? Marcus Phoenix and Master Chief Collection in the next Smash game? I wish. I freaking wish. In terms of the second question. But just Master, I think Master, I don't picture Marcus Phoenix, but Master Chief, come on, man. That's such an iconic character. Yeah, that is, if people don't know where this whole Xbox exclusivity question comes from, I guess I'll just bring it up. There's a lot of rumors going around. I think it's from Nate the Hate or somebody who has had many accurate predictions. He was saying that, like, the rumors just continue to build up from inside, that, like, Xbox is considering porting the Master Chief collection to like Nintendo and PlayStation. And let me see if I can find this. And you know, like, just a big sign of that being a thing is what we have here. If this lets me do this, there we go. Is like Forza Horizon 5 is now coming to PlayStation, which Forza Horizon is Forza in general. Like, even though that, you know, there's kind of bigger influence through that, but it's still an Xbox IP that is a staple. Like, many people used to say, or, you know, would say that the Holy Trinity, you know, the Thor, Iron Man, and Captain America of Xbox is Halo, Gears of War, and Forza. So this became a big deal this week, seeing Forza Horizon 5 is coming to PlayStation 5. And that's a much more significant deal than Indiana Jones coming to PS5. So, like, Forza Horizon 5, like, that is the sign, you know, that, like, if Forza's coming to PlayStation, Gears and Halo are really not off the table. And that's where a lot of the conversation came from this week. So, and obviously, Phil Spencer had an interview, I think it was last week, with, like, 2 different podcasts that he was basically stating, like, yeah, there's just, I just don't want to rule out the possibility of anything not coming to PlayStation or Nintendo or anything. CNT. The Xbox 360 will be 20 years old this year. Did you know that I still have my Xbox 360? I can prove it. Dare me. Dare me. But yeah, that's wild. That's really wild. This year, you're right. Yeah, because it came out in 2005, and then Gears of War came out the year afterwards. I always think Gears of War was like in the launch, not title, but like the launch year. But no, it was the year after. I always forget 2005. It's not 2006, but you're right. We're coming up on the 20th anniversary of the Xbox 360. That is nuts, dude. That is so crazy. I was, wow. No, that's right. Yeah, because that means I would have been, how old am I? How old am I? I'm turning 32 this year. Yeah, I would have been 12. Wow, I would have been 12 years old. That's nuts. I was so pure. I was so pure, just recording English dub Naruto episodes on my VCR. Wow. Devin May, I know it's anime, but I don't really, man, like anime I'm so passive about now. Like I very rarely watch stuff currently, but I will say I like Bleach. When Bleach starts up, I will, like, I haven't watched part 3, but I'm because that's gonna be the conclusion, and I have to be there when that wraps up. So I'll probably say Bleach 1000 Year Blood War, but I can't really think of anything else. Rocket, if the next Xbox runs Steam, will we be able to play PlayStation games on it, or will Sony block that from happening? So, and this is a good question, because and I appreciate Destin Legary, not only for his content, but also he tried to pull that out of him. He's like, okay, so Steam on the next Xbox confirmed, and Phil's just like, no comment. You know, he's just like, I'm not saying shit about that. But if it did, I had the theory that, like, you know what? I'm just gonna read this directly. I'm part of the what is it called? The gaming duo. I love those guys. I've had them on the channel many times. And I said something, and I feel like I just want to read it verbatim because I feel like I articulated it very well there. Okay, so this is what I said, because we were all talking about the whole like exclusivity situation, and somebody said like, well, PlayStation follows suit. I don't think they'll ever put first-party games on PC day and date, but we'll see. It certainly doesn't help that third-party exclusives remain exclusive. Day and date on PC is the way to go, in my opinion. And I said, ever is quite a long time. Hell, even Nintendo, and I stand by this, someday will probably put games on PC. I ain't saying it's tomorrow or this decade, but someday. PlayStation, it's already a matter of time with how soon they bring stuff to PC, basically within a year now. And Helldivers 2 showed a strong benefit that day and date on PC is something that they'll be warming up to slowly. And that's true. Helldivers 2, they launched that game day and date on Steam, and it did amazing. And ever since then, it should show them, like, okay, we should probably explore that. But this is the part regarding this question. Now, the immediate future, probably not. But in the PlayStation 6 gen, I'd put money on it. Then again, if the Xbox console does allow Steam, then PlayStation might be all, never mind. And they'll just stop launching on Steam and launch their own marketplace. Think something similar to how EA and Ubisoft would launch their games on PC. But those two already learned firsthand that if you put stuff on PC, you have to put it on Steam. Now that I think about it, Steam and Xbox together would probably just end console exclusivity entirely, potentially, now that I think about the chain of events that lead to. That's what I wrote, and I stand by all that. Because, like, because the chain of events would be exactly as, you know, I was saying, like, PlayStation would just probably make their own marketplace and stop putting games on Steam because that's going to screw them over. And people will just basically buy the Xbox thing because that's where they could play everything if PlayStation's launching their games day and day on Steam and the new Xbox has like an OS or whatever that can go into Steam. If they really are just wanting it to be entirely a hardware thing that could just run like a PC, then it should be able to play Steam. And if PlayStation ever launches day and date on Steam, then they're going to stop that shit and launch their own marketplace. Or, and this is where things would get crazy, they'll follow suit. They'll be like, we have to make our system somehow run Steam. But PlayStation is way further off from doing that because they're just that's not what they do. They create TVs, they make television and movies and video games. They make entertainment, whereas Microsoft is a software company. This is their specialty. And so that would be a huge venture for them to make the PlayStation 6 be able to run Steam. But they would probably go for it if Xbox did it. They would either A, go for that because they know they have to, or B, they would just stop launching on Steam day and date and try to make their own PC marketplace, which is probably the more likely thing that they would do. But if they made their console have Steam because Xbox's did, then exclusivity is gone. It would be completely gone, and you could just play games based off of the community, based off of the deals, based off of the memberships, based off of the hardware. Exclusivity would no longer be a part of the equation, and I personally think that's freaking exciting. And I understand peeps would be like, I love exclusivity. That is scary to me. I understand. C2, are you going to buy the next hardware, Xbox hardware keys? Oh, absolutely. No question. And it's probably because of what Phil's saying. It's just like, and that's just because I built a digital library on Xbox. Like, nothing Xbox does, and I would love to see if you disagree with this. Oh, and I do we have somebody? I don't know. No, I think it's my screen share. I'm going to stop that. I just want to make sure. Okay, I thought we had somebody waiting to potentially talk. Again, if you would like to jump on the stream, again, not obligated, but just if you would like to, the link to do so is in the description. What Phil was saying is that no matter what, and people keep challenging this, where it's like, it's all about the games. If you make great games and those games can only be played on your system, people will buy your console, which is true. I'm not saying they're wrong, but it's not going to make people leave their consoles. It's not going to make a Nintendo person become an Xbox person. It's not going to make a PlayStation person become an Xbox person. It's not going to make a Steam person become an Xbox person. They're going to try to add Xbox to their repertoire as it collects dust like my PlayStation 5 does. Because throughout the year, I'm just playing on my Xbox because of Game Pass, and my PlayStation 5 is like my secondary console, and that's all they can do. Because people have become entrenched in where their digital libraries form and where their friends play. And that's something that is like, I don't know how you shift somebody away from that. So I'm for sure buying the next Xbox hardware because that's where my friends play. That's where I have my digital library. And that's what Phil was talking about when he said, like, we lost the worst generation to lose. So, Nature Power. Forza Horizon 5 coming to PS5. That can mean Horizon 6 coming very soon. And they better leave it exclusive to Xbox. So they can attract PS players to Xbox after they try Horizon 5. I agree with this. So, and this is where I personally would sit on the whole thing, because I'm not saying I'm okay with them removing exclusivity entirely. I feel like exclusivity is something that should help your primary users feel, you know, like, I'm glad I'm here because I get this. But I still state again, Xbox original IP, like Ori, Forza, Halo, those are things that they will not port to other systems until a while. And it's like, why don't I just get a PlayStation? I could play everything. Well, you can. If you're willing to wait. If you're willing to wait 6 to 12 months at least and miss all the hubbub. There are some people that did that for Baldur's Gate 3 and are still doing that for Black Myth Wukong, where it's like, you know, I want to play it on Xbox, so I'm going to wait for it to come to Xbox. And people do that, but most don't. If they know it's on a system, they'll get it for that system. But that's my point, is like, if Forza Horizon 5 does great, Sea of Thieves did great, then, you know, like, okay, I want to play the next one. And the next one is, you know, it's only on Xbox. And it's like, ugh, I'll wait. But maybe they won't. So I agree. I think that is hopefully a strategy where it's like, give them the appetizers. Give them the Master Chief Collection, but not Halo Infinite. Give them Horizon 5, but not Horizon 6. Give them Gears 4 and 5 or the Marcus Venus Collection, if that ever exists, but don't give them Gears E-Day. You know, it's like you play the newest games only on Xbox. Creature, gonna watch the Bankai releases of that Bleach game when it comes out? No, I don't care. I think that Bleach game looks great, but eh. The Full Metal Alchemist anime is a funny dude sometimes. I was seeing your messages about the Silver. I'm glad you're finally watching it, man, because that is a fantastic anime. I like this Silver. PS6 is gonna have the Epic Game Store built in since some of their games are already on it. Wouldn't that be funny? Wouldn't that be funny? Johan! More games, more players, more fun. Oh, indeed. Indeed. Oh wait, what is this? Devin May, how many of your old consoles do you have? Consoles. How many of my old consoles? I sold a lot of them, dude, I admit. But I still have, I think, my regular DS. I'm not sure about that, but I am sure that I have my PlayStation 2, my Wii, or did I get rid of my Wii? I feel like I have my Wii, and I know for sure my 360. So for sure my 360 and PS2, maybe my DS and Wii. Yeah, Patrick. If Xbox started running Steam, it would kick off one hell of an arm race. It would be a totally different ball game. The Perfect Dark reboot will never get ported. I think it would. Because that was not an Xbox original IP. That's why I'm saying, like, anything that isn't an Xbox original IP, I feel like is absolutely, like, they could launch Perfect Dark on the PlayStation 5 and Nintendo. And Nintendo, actually. I could picture. Let me tell you one thing. With this strategy, I want to pull a new poll up. Because this poll, we've had 28 votes. Clearly, it is saying 57% of us say, I would rather be able to play my games as easy as possible. Then second place at 36% is, I want my games exclusive to make me feel special here. And then only 7% care about the hardware. Look at how much the Switch sold. No wonder that hardware thing. So, but I want to ask another question. Because I'm very curious what you guys say about this. If Xbox made a new Banjo and Kazooie, would it launch on Nintendo as well? Day one. Also, am I lagging? I'm looking at my preview. Okay, I am curious what you say because I thought of that with this new mindset. I wondered because that's a very feasible question right now. That's a really feasible question right now. And I don't want you to think like, and actually, would you want to as well? Would you want them to? Because that's a really interesting question. I've told you guys many times, like the #1 project I want to see Xbox greenlight is a new Banjo-Kazooie game. Not because I'm a fan, but I want them to pay some freaking love to the platformer IPs that they have. Give us freaking Conquer, fine. But Banjo-Kazooie started on Nintendo. It started on Nintendo. So if they made a new one, I think they would be putting money on the ground or just out the window if they didn't launch it on the platform that cartoony IP are known for. In fact, I almost guarantee more people would probably play it on the Nintendo system. Like Silver says, a new Banjo game is gonna stay on Xbox. You think so? Like it could, like it absolutely could. I don't think day one, but eventually it would come over to Nintendo. This is very possible. That is very, very possible. I personally, man, I think for sure, like I feel like, and I think of it, I do my best to, I don't want to think as a fanboy. I never do that. And I hope you guys respect me for that. I really hope you respect how like I do my best to not be biased and just like think as rational as possible. Let me know if you appreciate that. If I was a businessman, as much as I feel like it'd be great if it was exclusive to Xbox, if I was a businessman, we need to launch that day and date. Not on PlayStation, because it's fine, but on Nintendo Switch 2. Because a lot of the audience there that are older will remember this game. They grew up on it. And seeing a brand new one in the style and tone and execution that they've always loved about Banjo-Kazooie, and they finally get a new one, if they find out that it's only on Xbox, they might buy the hardware, but we will probably only get like, we might get like 11,000 new Game Pass subs and 100 consoles sold. Versus probably selling like 1 million copies on Nintendo Switch 2. Maybe even a couple million. If we market it right, and if we make sure that they know. I think there's no way that they would leave that on the table. Are we talking about Banjo-Kazooie? Hell yeah. No, Frosty Jackson, I put a poll in the chat. And it's just like, I just think, I think that if that were to happen, then Xbox would for sure. Like, they would not let that slide. Now, PlayStation 5, they probably wouldn't bother with that because, like, that's not the PlayStation peeps. Yeah, a few of them will know, but it's the Nintendo peeps that are very affinityed with Banjo-Kazooie. Oh, how should they reveal it? I think that should still. That's a good question, actually. That's a good question. Because I was gonna say I think that should stay as a like showcase announcement, but I have to admit, if that was part of a Nintendo Direct, I honestly guarantee you, if they launched it on both Xbox, PC, and Nintendo, I guarantee you they would sell 10 times as many copies on Nintendo as they would on Steam and Xbox combined. I can almost guarantee you that. So, and because of that, that might be a first-party Xbox game that might do better being revealed at Nintendo Direct. Again, this is me thinking as a business person. This is just me thinking as a business person, not as a fanboy or anything. But this is why I don't get like mad at the strategy, because on paper I get it. I really do. Devin May, I'm just frustrated that Diddy Kong Racing and DK64 is still not on Nintendo Online. What isn't on Nintendo Online? I want to bring up this question though. Somebody left one. Where is it? Sorry, I've been looking at a lot of clips of Tomo-chan as a girl. That's a nice anime. Where's my community tab? Do I no longer have my community tab? Hello? Trying to find my community tab. Somebody, it was CNT. I like this question. CNT asked, and I want to see if everybody else, if you can, nope, not that. If you got an answer to this question. CNT asked, what are your favorite this was before the stream, and I was curious if anybody had anything they wanted to bring up. What are your favorite under the radar indie games? I just found out that the Edge of Allegoria, but I gotta wait until my paycheck comes through. Under the radar is tricky, and by the way, if anybody wants to be a part of the stream, if you feel like sharing, if you feel like talking, I'll plug it in one more time. You can actually join it by going in the description. I'd love to test it out, but no pressure, do not worry. But yeah, there's a way you could actually just join for a moment if you want to propose a question or your thoughts on something and then just dip. Totally fine. You could just propose it and then dip. That's fine. Or talk for a moment. But when I think of under the radar, that's a different story. Because under the radar, I don't know what that exactly means. Like I've been looking into Citizen Sleeper since last night, and because I'm tempted, guys, to play it, but I don't know. But like some of my favorite indie games is Outer Wilds for sure, and Undertale, and Celeste. But I feel like those three games have gotten a good deal of attention, especially Celeste and Undertale for sure. But I just don't know what qualifies as an under the radar. And like if Outer Wilds qualifies, then I will say forever Outer Wilds is like the greatest indie I've ever played. It's one of my favorite games of all time. But when I think under the radar, I think things that like haven't gotten like were at showcase or got nominated for awards or anything. I really liked Young Souls. If you don't know Young Souls, that's a neat little see if we can find a trailer for it. Oh my god, Avowed comes out next month. Here we go. Oops, share. Yeah, I liked Young Souls a lot. I don't know the studio, but I thought it was a neat game. The art style was cool. You just play, it could be played the entire thing co-op. But you play as these twins that move to a new town, and you kind of go through like underground dungeons, and it's weird because they actually like curse and whatnot, but it's a cool game, man. I dug it. Like the combat's engaging enough. It's pretty simple, straightforward, not that long either. This is another Game Pass game that I saw it was leaving soon, and I like hurried to beat it. I definitely liked that, but I don't. A Short Hike is a good one. I feel like that never got mentioned in like a showcase or anything like that. A Short Hike is a really good one. It's like on everything, but very chill, like 3-hour game. I did mention this in a short that I made. What's like 5 quick indie games that you can play on Game Pass. Beautiful music by Mark Sparling, man. But yeah, it's just a very nice, like, just go around this map and just be calm and enjoy and everything. And you're just trying to make your way to the top of this mountain for reasons. And I won't say the reason because I may have cried to this game. But I think of other ones, but I feel like those are two that I feel like did not get very much attention or are that known or anything like that. But yeah. You guys said in the poll, if Xbox made a new Banjo-Kazooie game, would it launch on Nintendo as well, day one? And the majority is saying yes. 69% say yes. And I agree. I would very much agree. But I'm not sure. Devin May, I'm not sure if it's under the radar, but I really like Bug Snacks. that's what I mean. Like, I feel like Bugsnax, I feel like it's not, because it got shown off at PlayStation shows like twice, I feel like, but I don't know. It's like, it's hard to distinguish what makes it under the radar these days. I also like the game Ooblets. It's like Pokemon meets Animal Crossing. Oh, sounds nice. Oh, Bastion. I have heard that name, but I don't know what it is. Tunic was also very good. I just remembered. Yeah, like Devin May's got a lot of them. Like Tunic, I would argue that's not too under the radar, because it got nominated for like best game direction and best indie game. It was shown almost constantly at all the ID at Xboxes. Like that game is definitely indie, but I don't know if I would call it under the radar. I feel like under the radar is like it just didn't show up at any major showcases and didn't get awards and stuff. But anyway, yeah, the creature's saying under the radar would be like Cosmo Connections, I think. Somebody asked earlier how long I'm going to be live, and I would say we're coming up towards the end. Maybe like another 10 or 20 minutes. Does anybody have any thoughts about there's a new PlayStation leader in town. I don't know if anybody's heard of this, but am I already on this? Yeah. So this also happened this week. There's a shakeup. Hiroki Todoki named corporate CEO. Hideaki Nishino elevated to solo CEO role at Sony Interactive Entertainment. But long story short, there was this position before that they had like 2 CEOs that was going on. And they decided to go against that. They decided to make it so we now only have 1 CEO, and we're making Herman Hulst, who used to be in charge of PlayStation Studios, and then they promoted him to like co-CEO. And now they just decided, okay, we just need 1, and we're going to make like Herman Hulst and Hideaki just different things underneath. And they're kind of like making it the structure sort of like Xbox has, where like, you know, Phil Spencer is the head, but Matt Booty's in charge of the studios and Sarah Bond is in charge of the brand. So it's kind of like that. They're going off of that model. But I don't know if I have much to say about it until like there's so much that they're course correcting during the Jim Ryan era. There's so much that they're course correcting, and I wonder if this is part of that. I do think that they did state that, like, I think they did state that they're really exploring the idea of multi-platform. And I retort to that whole thing that I said earlier. Yeah, Rocket hopefully puts PlayStation games on Xbox. Helldivers 2 on Xbox. Oh my god. Helldivers 2 is such a good Xbox game. But I already bought it for Steam. Also, why am I lagging? C2. Yeah, Hulst is still CEO of the studios. He just has a boss now. Yeah. Well, no. So Hulst was promoted to like this. It's he just basically had a title change, but he was promoted. C2, at least I believe. Like, maybe I am wrong because I'm not entirely sure about it, but he was promoted to a co-CEO position, and now it's like, no, just stick with what you were doing before and just manage the studios instead of having this like co-CEO role. And I like that because it just helps. It's nice when you have a more specific focus, and also you don't have to have 2 people approve of something instead of just 1. But there's going to be a lot of pressure on this new CEO, Hideaki Nishino. It's a new era. Before him, it was Jim Ryan, and before Jim Ryan, it was whatever Schultz. Sean Schultz? Or not Sean Schultz. What was his name? You know what I'm talking about. Creature. Can you show us your favorite game trailer? Why am I lagging like crazy, dude? There we go. Oh, wow. It's because of the article? That's weird. At some point, Creature, I want to have, like... So, let me just, as we, like, sort of approach the finish line... Oh, there's one more thing I want to bring up with you. Also, hi, Noir. But at some point, I want to roll this by you guys because I'm going to talk about this more on Patreon next week, which is free. You know, just follow there and you'll be able to hear all about it. But I would like to do streams like this where there is a specific focus about presenting something and reflecting, because that's something that I think is so beautiful about when you're a geek for something, when you're passionate about something. It's really neat when somebody asks you a question about what you love, like Creature asks, like, can you show your favorite game trailer? Or if somebody asks, like, hey, what are your 5 favorite RPGs of all time? Like, imagine somebody asked you watching, what are your 3 favorite games that you played in the past year? You know, like, does that not excite you to, like, be able to share that with somebody? At least if you're as passionate about video games as, like, some of us here. But that's something that I want to, like, do and give that opportunity that we could all reflect on that and share together and just really embrace the games we love, and the memories that we've had with them. And so this is an idea, you know, can you show us your favorite game trailer? That's literally been one of those stream ideas where, like, I want to have like a weekly series where every week there is something that we reflect on together. And that was one of the stream ideas where it's like, okay, this week we're going to reflect on what are our all-time favorite game trailers, which is different than game reveals. Game reveals are not the same as favorite trailers. So yeah, I don't know if I want to spoil this yet, and I don't know if I have a definitive answer. There's something that come to my mind, but I have to, like, decide, like, is it because of the reveal or is it because of the trailer? You know, like, I see, like, C2 bringing up, it's not my favorite trailer, but the Smash Ultimate trailer was my favorite reveal. Like, there's a lot of Smash reveals, like Steve and Joker, that, like, their trailers are not the best, but them as reveals were insane. But then you get to, like, Sephiroth, who had, to me, the best trailer. That's the difference between, like, a reveal and a trailer. A reveal, it's like, oh my god, no way. And then a trailer just, like, it's like, wow, that was really cool. So at some point, I want to leave that because I really want to explore that idea. Can you guys let me know, like how do you feel about that? Would you want to do that? Like, does that sound like an interesting series to do together where it's like, all right, this week, who are our favorite game waifus? Or this week, what are the most challenging bosses we have faced? This week, what are our dream games to launch for the Nintendo Switch? Like, that could be a speculation thing for the future. This week, what are the game reveals that we just still can't get over? Like, genuinely, I would love for you guys to spam in the chat how that makes you feel. Like, I would genuinely love to know the answer to that, because that idea excites me. But maybe for you could, and this isn't rude of you to say, like, I don't know, I don't think I'd really tune in for that. Let me know. Rocket, what PC handheld do you recommend? I can't answer that question, Rocket. I have no expertise in that question. Go to Twitter and at Baldly Rudy. At him that question, because he is the expert in that. I am absolutely not. Can I show him here? I have no expertise on that question. But at Baldy Rudy, friend of the channel, he would be way more versatile to answer that question. But I have zero knowledge on that. Yeah. No, my favorite game trailer. See, you guys are already doing it. See, you're already doing it. You're already reflecting on it. If I look at these chats and it's you guys answering this question as you already are, then that's already telling me. That's already telling me that, like, you know, I feel like that could be interesting. Like Patrick's saying, that sounds like a cool idea. I love hearing others talk about things that they're passionate about. And that's what it would be, man. My backbone to this channel that I really want is, with everything I do, my motto's always been, be geek, be proud, be awesome. But, I just want to make sure. Okay, sorry. I thought I had a guess that jumped in here. My motto's always been, be geek, be proud, be awesome. But, a part of that is, like, how do I get people to geek out? How do I get people to just own what they love and stuff? And it's just like, I think reflecting on your favorite things is just an opportunity to remind yourself of who you are and share who you are. And I love the idea, personally. But that's me. Steffi, reflecting brings up nostalgia, which is nice to feel at times. Yeah. It is. Like, you remember the good times, but also I just think it's important to, it's like grieving to me. Like, I love whenever anybody asks about my family dog that passed in recent years, Vegas. I love when people ask me about her or just reflect about her with me and they're like, and at the beginning after she passed, everybody was just like, I could tell they were tiptoeing around it because they knew how sad I was about it, but they didn't want to trigger any tears or whatever. And I'm just like, no, it's the opposite to me. Like, I really appreciate you bringing her up because that's the only way I get to be with her. That's the only way I get to be with her now, is to be able to think about her and to reflect on my favorite things about her and my memories with her. And that's like, I love that. And that's how I feel about not nostalgia necessarily, but just reflecting on the things that I love. Because it gets me to remember the things about me or that I've been a part of or that I got to experience that were just freaking awesome, So, exactly, the same with my dog that passed. Exactly. Like, it's just, I think it's a beautiful thing to reflect on the things that you love or loved, Like Halo. Okay. Oh, I miss Halo being in the limelight so much. I just want to point out, I can't find the story. There was one more story. I guess, okay, this is kind of it. So this was one more thing I wanted to point out to you guys, as well as like what our most anticipated game of the year is. Moon Studio. Apparently, they are down to make a freaking game. They are freaking down to make another game. But but they've said this in the past, but it just didn't work out because they just wanted to make a game that could be multi-platform. But now that Xbox is more open to it, apparently the person in charge of Moon Studios, the people that made the Ori games, got off the phone with Phil Spencer last week. Or got off the phone with Xbox. I can't remember who, but they got off the phone with Xbox. And he said, we'll see. And a lot of people are thinking it was either about an Ori game or a Banjo-Kazooie. Because they've outwardly expressed how they would be down to make a Banjo-Kazooie as well. But, and this is why, I think this is the other reason why Xbox is going this multi-plat direction, is because developers want their game played by as many people as possible. And literally, this approach lets developers more confident in making the games that they can, as well as Xbox, backing the games, too, because the games will make more money since they're going more places that they can sell. So it just allows more game projects to be greenlit. And this situation, thanks to their multi-platform strategy, we could, keywords could, take it with a grain of salt, we could be getting a Banjo-Kazooie or new Ori game by Moon Studios. And we'll see. So what you think of that? Halo is life. I wish, man. Okay, Fina, how tall are you? Which, by the way, thank you very much for the super chat. Fina, I really appreciate that. 6'1". I'm 6'1". So if you want to imagine what it'd be like to stand next to me, just get out 6 rulers and your thumb. 2 thumbs. That's how tall I am. 6'1". Sort of 6'2". I'd say 6'1". But thank you so much for the super chat, Fina. 1v1 me in Elden Ring? Nah. I didn't really do PvP in Elden Ring. I don't know. Didn't really bother with that too much. Rocket, hopefully Halo Studios is working on releasing multiple games and not just one every 7 years. That's the vibe. Like, they already confirmed that they're working on multiple games, but that's the vibe that I think. And I don't know if anybody saw, but Halo Studios, it's going to take forever for me not to call them 343. Halo Studios had a live stream today to talk about Halo Infinite in the spring, as well as the Halo Championship circuit. Nothing too exciting, just some adjustments to the battle pass system, and there's like a fuel rod version of the rocket launcher. Nothing too crazy, but yeah, that's a whole other conversation, man. I could talk about Halo forever, but I'm going to leave it at that. As we come to the finish line, wait, really quick. Fina, once again, thank you very much for the support. My goodness, two in one stream. That's taller than I thought. I was thinking maybe 5'8". Why? Because I'm Asian? Are you discriminating? We're not all short. You know, it's funny. My mom, so I get Asian, like I get my Japanese from my mom. If you're ever curious, like, I don't know, like I have the brown skin and stuff from my mom, and she's like half Japanese, and she's like, you need to just like move to Japan or go visit there for a couple weeks. I'm like, oh, I agree. She's like, no, but you would have so many girls fawning over you. As long as you dress in your stylish way. I'm like, thanks, Bob. So I'm not stylish all the time, but I know what she means. Like, there's the times where, like, not today. Like, this is my very just casual around the house outfit. But like when I clean up, you know, I get that. But she's like, there's be so many girls over there that fawn over you because all the guys there are short, but you'd be tall and you're muscular and you have a bit more open eyes than they do. And I'm just like, Mom, calm down. So, but yes, I am taller than most gentlemen over in Japan, apparently. So says my mommy. But and then he keeps going. How'd you get so tall? I don't know. Genes from my dad? I'm not sure. No, actually, it's my uncle. My uncle is like, he is super tall as well. My uncle and my two cousins that are also boys from him. Yeah, the boys on my mom's side of the family are pretty tall. If you had to pick one Xbox game to go multi-plat so that more people can experience it, what would it be? That's a good question. That's a really good question. If you had to pick one Xbox game, I asked this like to everybody watching as well. Like, what do you guys think? If you had to pick one Xbox game to go multi-plat so that more people could experience it, what would it be? I would have to say a multiplayer game, because I feel like single player games, like, I'd love for them to get to experience it. But I feel like a multiplayer game, it's just more fun the more people are playing it. That's why, like, Helldivers 2 has so many people, like, begging for it to come to Xbox, because it is a multiplayer-driven game. It's literally like there's a narrative in the game that's around the community doing their part. And the more people we get playing, the more we can accomplish the goals, you know? So, that's why I thought, like, Sea of Thieves was a really good idea, as was Grounded. And with that, it's like Halo Infinite could, but I just feel too, I don't like the idea of Gears and Halo on PlayStation, but it's fine if that happens. But, like, I guess it would make sense, especially Halo Infinite, even though I feel like they'll wait on that more, but Halo Infinite, I'm just desperate for more people to be on that game, because that is a Halo game that has everything. In terms of a solo Halo game, like Master Chief has everything, but that's because it's like a collection of games. But like Halo Infinite is a solo Halo game. It has everything in it. And I want more people on it. So I guess that, but I'm just a little bit insecure about it. Forza Horizons 5 is a good pick, but I don't think I have a clear answer to this. I don't know. I guess Starfield. Yeah, I would say Starfield. I would say Starfield. Not because I'm personally attached to the game, but because I know like there's a lot of Bethesda fans that are on PlayStation that like, you know, they didn't get to play that game. And I think I used to have a former like mega patron that was like a big Bethesda fan. He's like, I swear if they announce Starfield's exclusive, I'm gonna be so sad. So yeah, I would say Starfield because that's a game that like many people could experience their space story. Yeah, I would say that. Another freaking Fina. Relax. Thank you very much for the super chats, Fina. Join our Patreon community. Like don't do any more super chats. Become like the $1 patron, and then you become like in our Discord. You can ask me these questions whenever you want, and like you can hang out with me and stuff. Like I please support however you feel, but I want to make sure it's like the most valuable for you. And it's like $1, and meanwhile you've done like $8 in super chats. So thank you very much. But how muscular are you? Can we see? Ha, joke's on you. I'm wearing a sweater today. Okay, there you go. Well, there's something for you, but I try to squeeze in a shoulder workout before this. No, I'm not gonna. I've shared this a little bit publicly, but I'm a little bit uncomfortable just like flexing for streams and whatnot. I just don't resonate with that. That ain't me, even though many coaches would probably advise me, no, that's something you should do because like there's not many gamers out there that are as like buff as you. And I'm just like, but I don't want to brag about it. I feel like it's bragging if I freaking show them off and flex. Like, no, that's not me. But I'm sure there is evil sites online that can show you plenty. I don't have anything explicit of me on the internet, but I'm sure there's things somewhere because they always exist. Starfield for me, maybe. Rocket says it'll receive less negativity. Oh, the PlayStation tax thing. Oh, I disagree with that, but Steffi, I'm excited to see new characters introduced in that world. The game is beautiful. Oh wait, you're talking about the Ori thing? I can't say no to more Ori, but I wonder how the story would continue. I'm excited to see new characters introduced in that world. That game is beautiful. Yeah, I feel like they would have to do new characters because I feel like Will of the Wisps ended on a very, like, this is the conclusion, you know? If it's a duology. So I don't know. Jax Japan trip 2026. Let's go. Jax, if you've always wanted to go, I don't know. That could be a neat little adventure. Yeah, we talked about this earlier, not to, but yeah, that's why I said like Forza Horizon 5 was a good choice. But yeah, I'll hop on Infinite after Indiana Jones is complete. Dude, like Jax, I don't know. Have you played Infinite? Like I know Michael did, but like, I just love Infinite, man. Like Infinite, you could just play Prop Hunt. You could play Helldivers. You could play a racing game. You could do Mario Kart. You could play Smash Bros. You could get some great PvP action. You could play Left 4 Dead. Like Halo Infinite just is the Roblox of Halo. Like there's just so much stuff. I would love at some point, like if we could have a community night where like everybody, hopefully I get big enough that people would love to just hop on and play Halo Infinite together, because I think Halo Infinite custom games is awesome. Patrick, Halo, if Master Chief Collection or Infinite comes to Switch 2, I'd probably check it out. And personally, I'd rather have Gears be Xbox exclusive over Halo. Interesting. Very interesting. Creature! Super chat. Can you show us your favorite game you physically own? Your favorite game that you physically own. I think that's easy. Yeah. Well, wait. Yeah. It's the same, because I thought this was a trick question, because it's like, what is your favorite game that you physically own? But it's like, I thought it was a trick question. I mean, I'm sure I have the original stored somewhere. Oh Oh my god, this is dusty. Oh my. This is dusty. Oh my poor baby. Oh my god. I think it's just because I have the cover openly on my shelf. Here's Kingdom Hearts 2.5. And I will say, like, because Kingdom Hearts 2 is my second favorite game of all time, but I love 2.5. I love the whole Kingdom Hearts collection. It's like Master Chief Collection, where, like, they did a really good job of just making, like, each of them in that main menu and just bouncing into all of them. So this is Kingdom Hearts 2.5, but specifically for Kingdom Hearts 2. And this is not dusty because I don't have it just openly displayed. Halo 3, signed by Marty O'Donnell. Halo 3, signed by Marty O'Donnell, aka the composer and lead sound director for the OG Halo games. So this is probably the top because that autograph, like, come on. Like, physical merch, come on. So, oh, signed up. Yeah, I met him. I have a picture of it to prove it. Yeah, but, oh my god, my Kingdom Hearts 2 one is so dusty. So there you go. However, one more shout out. Wait, really quick. One more shout out. I do see more super chats, but one more shout out. Two shout outs. Because I have very fond memories of these. Speaking of, like, the 360 being almost 20 years old now. Lord of the Rings, Battlefield Middle-earth 2. Literally owning this game physically is the only reason I still have my Xbox 360. It is the only reason. Because this game is not backwards compatible, but it is like the best RTS I have ever played. Or I should say my favorite RTS I've ever played. So this is like, this is not backwards compatible. So I'm keeping my 360 because I want this game to always be an option to play, even though they shut down the freaking multiplayer servers. But Grand Theft Auto 4, hands down my favorite Grand Theft Auto game, man. I love Grand Theft Auto 4. I played through this thing a million times, and I just, like, I have such fond memories of this, and I think that's like a physical copy of something that I'll never get rid of. I love having the physical games of some of the ones I love, man. It is very nice. I need to buy just the case of Pikmin 4. I'm sure that exists on eBay, but I just want the physical case of Pikmin 4. I don't need the actual cartridge. It's just nice to have the case. I own it digitally, so it's like I own it digitally. It's fine. Jax, I only played Infinite multiplayer a couple times. It's pretty great. I haven't played the single player. Yeah. I mean, that's what a lot of people did because the multiplayer is free to play, you know? So, you know what's funny, Jax? People have made campaigns. People have literally made campaigns through the Halo Infinite Forge. So we could play a community-made campaign. How big are the biceps? I don't know. I've never measured that. I don't have a tape measure. to 15 inches? I have no idea. But thank you for another super chat. Just become a patron, Theta. If anybody does more than one super chat, become a damn patron, because I'm not trying to get money out of you. I'm trying to give you value. It's like, if you're going to do it again, I want you to get the benefits. Like, I appreciate it regardless, but it's like, just become the single dollar one instead of doing $2 over and over. You could have had Patreon for the entire year by now, Fina. You could have had it for the entire year by now. But thank you so much for the support. And longtime sponsor of everything, Steffi. $5 super chat. Thank you so much, Steffi. What's your favorite gaming merch that you own? Oh, God. I've shown this on a stream before. Does anybody know? I'll show it, but let me look at some things really quick. Dang, greatest hit container. Oh, signed, fancy. I love that, man. This is a signed copy A signed copy from Marty O'Donnell. Halo 3 is king. Absolutely. That game was amazing. I remember part 1 on the PC. Grand Theft Auto 4? Your 360 still works? Dang. Oh, yes. I tested it out before they shut down the marketplace, and it does. It still works. Good treasures, yeah. Abdel also has an expansion of Wrath of the Lich King. Does it still run on PC? Like, well, I'm sure the game does, but like, do the online servers still run? I do know about Wrath of the Lich King. I don't know if I'll ever get to it, but I probably should. GTA 4 needs checkpoints. What do you mean checkpoints? It's an open world game. GTA 4 is amazing. Patrick, Halo 3 signed by Marty O'Donnell. Now that is a flex. Also, I don't know where it is, but my favorite game I physically own is Midnight Club 2 on PlayStation 2. I have my OG copy of Kingdom Hearts 2 somewhere, and that is definitely like, yeah. But yeah, it's nice. It's nice to have that. Aqua or Nominee by... You know what? That is actually the ultimate question. Because those are literally my 2 best girls from Kingdom Hearts. Oh God. Nominee. Okay. I had the Halo 2 Aluminum Physical Edition and the regular Combat Evolved. Oh hell yeah, the Aluminum, really. Jax, I had 360 at launch. It got 3 red lights and sent it back 2 different times to get fixed. Then it got stolen. Jesus, Jax. Oh my God. That's nuts, dude. To answer this question, Steffi did again, which thank you very much for the $5. Thank you for the super chats. Like, oh my God. So, and this tells me, okay, this tells me that like you guys are liking this because I'm sure, you know, it's fun to listen and spectate Codename Good Game, but this is why I wanted to do this because I feel like I want to give anybody that tunes into the channel a feeling of being heard. You know, a feeling of being heard or giving an opportunity to hear others. And I've been feeling like lately, as much as fun as Codename Good Game is, I don't feel like I've been giving you that when I do that. Because it's like, again, it's fun to spectate, and you can be a part of it by sending in comments, and I try my best to read them. But it's not the same as like just interacting with you now. And so far, between like Fina's like 4 or 5 $2 super chats, which would have governed her a year on Patreon, and like Steffi and Creatures like super chat, like that tells me that you guys like this, and it's like thank you so much. That truly means a lot. But to answer this question from Steffi, what's your favorite gaming merch that you own? I don't know if you consider it merch. I don't know if you consider it merch, but I've shown this on stream before. And I have, like, it's my most prized possession, probably. I've shown this before, I'm pretty sure, but the year that Halo Reach was coming out, it was the final game from Bungie. And it was their swan song for the series as they said farewell and got to do, you know, Destiny and move on from Halo and away from Xbox. And so as Halo Reach was coming out and as Halo 4 was, you know, in the works, whenever I came across anybody from the Halo community, whether it was Bungie, whether it was Rooster Teeth for voicing like the Red vs. Blue characters, I got the cast of Red vs. Blue, and people from 343. The build up to Halo Infinite, the build up to Halo Reach, the launch of Halo Reach, and just whenever I would see the Red vs. Blue cast and whenever I would see members of 343, I had them all sign this huge poster of Halo Reach that it has like so many members from the community and creators and whatnot that signed this. Like you could see Griff underneath the 10 there, the Griff and Sarge and Bernie Burns from Rooster Teeth, and Simmons. You could see that. Like this is my like absolute peak of a thing that like if it ever caught on fire, then I would be absolutely devastated because there's like, I think I counted it, there's like 50 something autographs on there. And that took a while. That took a while. And I need to actually frame that already. I've just had it like taped up in this like container. But I need to actually frame that. You know, that actually should be a project this weekend. I'm gonna make that a project because I want to go around my place and like organize some things, and I need to frame that and hang that on a wall because that is like absolutely my most prized possession. The only bummer is that I have autographs from like Steve Downs. I have the voice of Master Chief and Cortana and former like producers at 343, as well as I showed you guys Marty O'Donnell, but they are not on that poster. They are separate. I wish, like, I just want everybody Halo to have signed that poster. But anyway, that is absolutely my most prized. I don't know if that's merch though. That's not exactly merch. It's a poster, and I love posters. I love me my posters. But yeah, I don't think I really have anything else gaming merch wise that I'm like in love with. Even my Keyblade back there, which you guys have seen a lot. Bro, that poster is sick. Yeah, at some point, yeah, Jax, if you ever, yeah, you need to come to my place sometime, man. That, wow, freaking beautiful. Steffi, very cool. Yeah, that thing took a lot of effort, man. I went to like whenever I went to PAX, whenever I went to a launch event, whenever, like, I would always bring that thing with me in the hopes that I would see them there and sign it. But now, Xbox doesn't even bother with PAX for whatever freaking reason. All right, anyways. We're hitting the finish line here because I just wanted this to go for like an hour, maybe an hour 15. But because of all the super chats, it's what I always do whenever you guys like just show any support. Then I want to like keep doing the love and everything. Oh no, I just got a text from my father. It's not a bad text. It's actually a good text. I want to hook. He's like, oh, you want to have dinner tonight? And Rocket, really quick, what's your favorite samurai game? I don't have any. None actually come to mind, which is crazy because I'm Samurai Kibuji. So why would I not have a favorite samurai game? Looking at my shelf. I need to cut my hair, by the way. You probably saw the back of my hair and it's disgusting. My hair is so... I have to cut my hair, but this is my winter head. I need to like, it's my winter head. It's, I just don't want my sides to get cut because then it's like, then I get cold. I can't think of anything. I can't think of any like samurai game that I've even played for that matter, which is weird because who am I? Can somebody, like, people that have followed me for a long time, like Steffi or Creature or anybody, like, do you recall me having played a samurai game? Because I can't recall anything. That's so crazy for what my name is. Come on. It's Keebs Hydra. It's Keebs Hideo Kojima, brother. Yeah, Steffi says nah. Like, I can't think of anything. Ghost of Tsushima. Like, I haven't played Ghost of Tsushima, but that would probably be it. But yeah, I haven't played that. Will you ever be interested in playing Ghost of Tsushima? No, I had an opportunity to. When I got my PlayStation 5, it was a Buddu, and it came with Ratchet & Clank Rift Apart, Spider-Man Miles Morales, Ultimate Edition, and Ghost of Tsushima Director's Cut. I sold Ghost of Tsushima. I sold Ghost of Tsushima because I knew I just wouldn't get to it. It wasn't because I didn't want to play it, but I just knew it was a game that I will probably never get to. And that's just because it's an open world game. Like, for me to play an open world game, even if somebody like buys it for me or it's included in something, like it takes a lot for me to be willing to do that. Like, even Game Pass, you know, if something's on Game Pass and it's like, if it's an open world game, I don't I don't know. So, I didn't know you had Japanese descent. Now your game makes more sense. Now your name makes more. No, my name actually, the origin story of my name is it's actually been my gamer tag for many years, but it was actually a character that I made for like a little a manga / comic series that me and my friends were kind of thinking of characters for, and if we all put them in, and then we just kind of have a random fan fiction, and that's where the name Kibaji comes from, actually. So, fun fact. I didn't know samurai was its own gaming genre. I mean, I tried out the demo for first Berserker Kuzan. I grow the hair long like mine. Grow the hair long like mine. Jax, I'm considering it, but I don't know, man. That's so much to manage. You have to tell me how that is, because I just don't know if I want to manage it. Creature can vouch. Creature's a longtime community member. Nope, I remember no samurai game. Samurai Kibaji has never played a samurai game. I'm looking forward to Ninja Gaiden 4. What game gave you the biggest what the fuck moment you ever experienced? I have to go, by the way. I have to wrap this up because I see this text from my parent, and I also told my friends tonight that I would play Helldivers 2. If you ever want to play Helldivers 2 with me, hit me up on Twitter. Just at me on Twitter and be like, Keebs, you want to drop and spread democracy tonight? And I'll be like, no, I want to drink some liberty. But the biggest what the fuck moment? BioShock Infinite. BioShock Infinite. Who knows what I'm talking about? You know what I'm talking about. If you played BioShock Infinite, you know what I am talking about. No question. No question. That was nuts. That was actually nuts. I know the agony. I would be so excited if you ever just start that game. Yeah. I'd have to like have so much free time and just nothing on the horizon for 2 months. But I admit there's other games that I'd want to hit if I was in that case. So yeah, sadly, it's one of those things, just many, many games in history that I probably will just never experience, sadly. But that's just, you can't do it all. You can't do it all. But yeah, guys, this was awesome. I hope I would love feedback after the stream. Like if you have me on a DM anywhere, DM me. If you just want to at me somewhere, just let me know. I would love to know how you feel about this stream versus like Codename Good Game. Is there maybe a neat middle ground we could do that I can make you feel more heard and involved and so on? I would love feedback. I'm always like wanting to like make sure what I'm doing is like making you feel good in some way, whether it's entertained or engaged or needed, whatever. So love your feedback that you can at me or message me, and I will see you next week where we wrestle a tiger until it becomes a unicorn that sprays eggs. What? All right, I'm gonna go. Appreciate y'all. Thank you so much to what was it? Ninny? Where are they? Fina. Thank you very much to Fina, Steffi, and Creature for super chatting, and everybody for watching. I appreciate you. Have a lovely weekend, and don't forget to be geek, be proud, be awesome.